Every human being, irrespective of who he is naturally aspiring, within the ambit of what he knows, to become something more than what he is right now. Is that so? Is that so? It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, you're wanting to be little more than who you are right now. If you know only money, you'll be thinking of more money. If you know power, you're thinking of more power. If you know wealth, more wealth. If you know knowledge, more knowledge. If you know love, more love. If you know pleasure, more pleasure. Whatever may be your currency, but every human being is longing to be something more than what he is right now. Yes or no? Doesn't matter what kind of pacifist philosophies people have taught you. They've been trying to tell you, be content with what you have, what God has given you is everything. It doesn't matter what they tell you. These kind of philosophies have worked only when you're either sick or very old. If there is… today you're sick, if I tell you you must be content with what you have, you'll say, yes, I don't want anything more, I just want to get healthy. Tomorrow morning, if you feel little more energetic, you're again ready, isn't it so? Because the very nature of the human being is this. With any number of philosophies, they have not been able to stop even one human being from seeking to be something more than who he is right now. It is just that what he longs for depends upon what he is exposed to and what he knows in his life. So, if whatever you're longing for today, if it gets fulfilled tomorrow, what is next? Something more, isn't it? If that something more happens, what's next? Something more. So, constantly this is something more. How much more would settle you for good? Let's fix it right now. It's better we have a plan, isn't it? How much more do you think will settle you for good? So there is something within you, there is something within you which is constantly wanting to be limitless. But you are trying to achieve the infinite through installments. This is a hopeless way to do it. Do you believe you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and one day say, it's infinite? You can only become endless counting by this mode. Your desire, your longing is fantastic. You're desiring for the infinite, but you're approaching it in installments. This is a hopeless way to do it. So, you're all technology people. Fundamentally, technology means to do things the way it works, isn't it? Yes? Philosophy means you can do all kinds of beautiful things, but it need not work. Religion means you can do all kinds of things and it need not work. Poetry means you can say all kinds of things, it need not work. Literature means it can be all kinds of things and need not work. But technology means it has to work, otherwise it's just junk. This one area where there's no room for frills. What works is all that matters. So, you've chosen technology in the outer scape of your life. Whatever gadgets you have today, the computers and all the other little things that you're pulling out, the iPhones and whatever else, all these gadgets came out of this gadget, isn't it? This is the gadget, yes or no? This is the gadget. Every other gadget has come out of this. And you think this is all or more will come? Endlessly it will come. So is it not time? Is it not time for technology people like you to examine what is the nature of this gadget? Too much people are engrossed in iPhone, it can keep you busy. What about the eye? This is the gadget. Every other gadget came out of this gadget. But we're missing the fundamental gadget. If you know how to operate this gadget, in its full capacity. You know, a year and a half ago, the cell phone companies in India made a survey and they found 97% of the people in the country are using only 7% of the capabilities of an ordinary cell phone. I'm not talking about the smartphones that you're carrying, I'm talking about the dumb phones. In a dumb phone, they're using only 7% of its competence. So they were just thinking, if you take away 90% of the software, most people will anyway not even know. If they gave you recent discounts, you should know why. Maybe some of you working in that. Because most people are using less than 7% of what a cell phone is capable of. I want you to make a wild guess. What do you think is the percentage? To what extent do you think you're using this gadget? How did you arrive at that? You're 1% too generous for yourself, well below 1%, I'm telling you. It is well below 1%. If a monkey can become a man, if a man strives, can't he become something else? And evolution need not always be. So you thought technology means we built an automobile or we built a locomotive, then we built an automobile, then we built an airplane. You always thought it has to be something physical. But now it's all software, all of your software technology, isn't it? So evolution need not be physical all the time. You dropped a tail, evolution means you have to grow horns. That's not what it is. You can evolve in many different ways. A human being can evolve in many different ways, above all, evolve beyond the limitations that people consider as human. Today, unfortunately in the world, it's become like this. If somebody mentions the word human, if somebody says, I am only human, they're not talking about the immensity of being human. They're not talking about the possibilities of being human. They're only talking about the limitations of being human, isn't it so? The word human is rarely ever used in terms of mentioning the great possibilities of being human. It is always mentioned in terms of the limitations of being human, isn't it? Because somewhere within a human being, he is always against the wall. He wants to do something and he finds there is a limit. So he is constantly experiencing the limitations. He is not experiencing the tremendous nature of being human. When I say the tremendous nature of being human, probably today it's all gone, your Tata Sky and big TV and whatever else has come. If you remember, when in India, when we got the first televisions in 70s, 80s, you're watching your favorite program, there were only two in the morning, Mahabharat, evening, Lok, what? Hum Log. So you're watching your Mahabharat, suddenly your television goes boop, boop, boop. Then you have to climb on the terrace, the roof of your house, there is a piece of aluminum there, you have to get it right. Little more, nothing will come, little less, nothing will come. You just have to get it right. If you get it right like this, the world pours into your sitting room. So this is what yoga means. You just learn to sit right, breathe right, stand right, learn to keep this right. If you know how to keep this right, you can download the whole cosmos into this one. You can enhance the perception of a human being in such a way, everything that's worth knowing in this cosmos can be known to you. If you study the libraries of the world, you will only come out as a very knowledgeable fool. But if you allow the perception to happen, everything that's worth knowing can be known within a human being. It is just that nobody has paid attention to this. Everybody thinks something else is more interesting for them. Everything that happens to you happens within you. Where do you see me right now? Within yourself. Where do you hear me right now? Within yourself. Where have you seen the whole world? Within yourself. The very nature of who you are is such, you experience only your interiority. You're incapable of experiencing anything outside of you. Please see this. You cannot see what's here. You can only see what's on your mindscape right now. Yes? You cannot hear what is here. You can only hear what is going through your mind right now. Yes or no? The whole world has happened only within you. You don't know what the world is. You know it only the way you perceive it. And there are many other creatures who perceive it completely differently from you. What is light for you is darkness for somebody else. You know an owl, the bird owl? Yes? The bird owl. If you and an owl sit together and start an argument as to which is light and which is darkness, where would you get? Huh? Who is right, you or the owl? Let's decide this. Huh? Both? If you're saying both, either you are working for the diplomatic corps or you have a successful marriage. In these two areas, you have to go on saying both, otherwise it won't work. See, one of us may be right, one of us may be wrong, but both of us cannot be right, isn't it? I'm asking which is light? What you see is light or what he sees is light? Now, nature has opened up your eyes only to the extent it's necessary for your survival. Nature has opened up his eyes to the extent it's necessary for his survival. But once you become human, your problem is survival is not good enough, isn't it? If you had come as any other creature, stomach full, life settled. But once you come as a human being, stomach empty, only one problem, food. Stomach full, 100 problems. It's only after survival is taken care of, what you call as human could have started in you. Till then, if you have not eaten for 5 days, you're just a biological entity like any other creature on this planet, isn't it so? Yes? You're just one more creature on this planet. Only when survival is taken care of, all the other finer aspects of being human may come out. Not always, it may come out. The possibility of distinctly being something different from animal nature becomes possible only after survival is taken care of. When survival is in question, you're just one more animal on this planet, yes? So, the very nature of human being is that he will not be fulfilled with survival. Every other creature is satisfied with survival. If their eating, sleeping and breeding is taken care of, they're quite fulfilled. But once you come as human, your problem is the more happens to you, the more you're becoming dissatisfied because your objective is infinite and you started counting. When you counted 1, 2, 3, 4, you really believed you're going to get there. When you reach billion, 2 billion, 10 billion, zillion, then you know it's quite a hopeless effort. So your longing is great, you're just not doing it right, that's all. Unless you do the right things will not happen to you. Technology means doing it the way it works.